In the bustling city of Johannesburg, where skyscrapers gleamed like silver spears against the African sky, lived a man whose name commanded respect across the boardrooms of Santon, Mr. Thabo Masiko. He was a man of wealth, sophistication, and power, driving luxury cars, owning sprawling mansions, and dining in the most exclusive restaurants of the city. But beneath all the glitz and glamour, what Thabo was most proud of was his beautiful wife, Nelady, and their two daughters, Amara, aged 14, a blossoming young lady with dreams of becoming a fashion designer, and Kaitemets, just 10, a bright-eyed girl with a love for books and science experiments. Thabo loved Nelady deeply in the early years of their marriage. She was his university sweetheart, the woman who stood by him when he had nothing but dreams. They lived a fairy tale life, showered in designer clothes, expensive jewelry, and luxury vacations to Dubai, Paris, and Zanzibar. Their home in Hyde Park was a double-story architectural masterpiece with marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and a swimming pool shaped like a crescent moon. To outsiders, they were the very definition of black excellence, the golden couple of Johannesburg society. But the reality of life has a way of shattering illusions. As the years passed, Nelady began noticing changes in her husband. The late nights at the office turned into entire weekends away. The warm affection, once expressed through soft kisses and tender words, turned cold, replaced by silence and indifference. At first, Nelady told herself, "It's just a phase. Business is stressful. He'll come back to me." She leaned on her best friend, Lerato, for support. Lerato had been her friend since childhood, someone she trusted with her secrets and dreams. When Nelady needed help managing the household and kids, she offered Lerato a job as a live-in maid. Little did she know, her best friend had been weaving a web of betrayal right under her nose. One evening, Nelady decided to confront Thabo. She waited for him in their candlelit lounge, the golden curtains drawn and the air heavy with tension. "Thabo," she began softly, "you've changed. You hardly look at me anymore. If something is wrong, tell me. Don't shut me out." He leaned back in his leather armchair, his face unreadable, and finally said the words that shattered her soul. "Nelady, I want to take a second wife." Nelady's heart sank, tears welling up in her eyes. "A second wife? After everything we've built? Who is she?" Thabo didn't hesitate. He smirked and uttered the unthinkable. "Your best friend, Lerato." Nelady gasped, her hand clutching her chest. She had suspected Lerato, the lingering glances, the subtle flirtation, but hearing it confirmed tore her apart. Her tears fell like rivers. "Lerato. The woman I trusted with my home, my children, my heart." But Thabo was unmoved. "It's done. She makes me happy. If you don't like it, you can leave." What Thabo didn't know was that Nelady was smarter than he gave her credit for. During their years together, he showered her with allowances, millions deposited monthly into her accounts. Instead of spending recklessly, Nelady quietly saved. With the help of a discreet banker, she had been transferring money into an offshore account in Mauritius, preparing for the day she feared might come. So when Thabo, in his arrogance, laughed at her tears and mocked her with, "Don't forget we signed a prenup. If you divorce me, you'll walk away with nothing," Nelady wiped her tears and whispered to herself. "You'll see who walks away with nothing." Nelady filed for divorce. Thabo roared with laughter. "Do you know who I am? Do you know what you're giving up? You'll crawl back." But Nelady didn't flinch. She took her daughters, packed their essentials, and left the Hyde Park mansion without looking back. With her offshore savings, she bought her own luxurious double-story home in Rosebank, decorated with her own taste and filled with warmth that Thabo's mansion had long lost. She started working again, taking consultancy contracts, using her MBA degree to rebuild her independence. She raised her daughters with dignity, ensuring they never lacked anything. For the first time in years, Naledi felt free. Meanwhile, Tobo married Lerato in a lavish wedding that made headlines. The city whispered in shock, he left Naledi for the maid. For her best friend. But Lerato reveled in her new role as Madame Masiko. She draped herself in designer gowns, filled her Instagram feed with champagne brunches, and demanded the finest jewelry and cars. But soon, cracks began to show. Lerato refused to cook, clean, or even care for Tobo's needs. I'm your wife now, not your maid. Hire help. She demanded more money, more luxury, more everything. Unlike Naledi, who had quietly saved and respected their finances, Lerato bled Tobo dry. And because their marriage was in community of property, Lerato had equal access to everything. One night, while Tobo was on a business trip, Lerato quietly drained their joint accounts. Millions vanished overnight. When Tobo returned, he logged into his accounts, only to find zero balances. He stormed into the bedroom. Lerato. Where is my money? She smirked, packing her Louis Vuitton bags. Our money, you mean? Don't you remember? We're married in community of property. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. And with that, she walked out, leaving him staring into the emptiness of his once flourishing empire. The board of his company removed him after scandals leaked. His cars were repossessed, his mansion mortgaged, his friends vanished like shadows in the sun. Tobo, once the golden king of Johannesburg, became a broken man. Across the city, Naledi thrived. Her consultancy grew into a successful firm, empowering women entrepreneurs and managing multi-million rand projects. Her daughters excelled in school, Amara sketching her first clothing collection and Kaitemets winning science fairs. Their Rosebank home was filled with love, laughter, and peace. Years later, Naledi spotted Tobo on a Johannesburg street. He was a shadow of the man she once loved, dressed in cheap clothes, his eyes hollow with regret. He staggered toward her, his voice broken. Naledi. Please. Help me. Lerato took everything. I have nothing. Naledi looked at him, her heart no longer tied to his pain. You had everything, Tobo. A wife who loved you, children who adored you, and a future secure. You threw it away for greed and betrayal. Tears filled his eyes. Forgive me. Naledi's voice was calm but firm. I forgave you the day I left. But forgiveness doesn't mean I must take you back. Goodbye, Tobo. She walked away, her head high, her daughters beside her, living proof of her strength. The city buzzed with gossip. Naledi Masiko is one of the most successful women in Johannesburg. Her story became an inspiration for many women trapped in betrayal and fear. As for Tobo, he faded into obscurity, a cautionary tale of a man who traded gold for dust, love for lust, and ended up losing everything.